For years, getting AI to really read your documents, digest complex PDFs, corporate reports, and then critically give you a trustworthy answer, one with citations. Well, that took some serious expertise.
Yeah, a lot of expertise.
Kind of had to be a coding wizard, right?
Right.
Wrestling with these complex pipelines, spending weeks just hoping your text chunks were the right size. It was guesswork.
A lot of prayer involved, yeah.
But the surprise is, that whole demanding era, it seems like it's, officially over. We're now in a place where you can build a full-powered R agent, one that's citation critical, in minutes. Literally minutes.
It sounds almost unbelievable when you put it like that.
Think about the test drive example in the source material we've looked at.
Yeah.
An AI that can pull specific financial figures from multiple dense corporate reports.
Okay.
And it gives you not just the number, but the exact quote and the precise page number. So you have immediate verifiable proof right there.
Welcome to the deep dive. That fundamental shift you're talking about, the one that takes Retrieval-Augmented Generation from this massive internal, multi-month project down to a 5-minute setup. That's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Sounds good.
And just quickly, for anyone maybe newer to this, RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, it's basically just using your own specific documents to ground the AI's answer. Keeps it from making stuff up, ensures it's relevant.
Right. Stops the hallucination problem.
Exactly. So our mission today is to give you the blueprint. First, we'll dig into the accuracy, the verifiable accuracy of these super fast agents.
Okay.
Then we'll expose all those old headaches, the old way problems that have just vanished.
Good riddance.
And finally, the step-by-step for building one yourself, plus some pretty stunning results from a head-to-head test.
Okay, let's get into it. The speed is obviously impressive, faster than making coffee. But you said it earlier, the real key here feels like trust.
It is.
It's like having an agent that acts like a really meticulous fact checker. Someone who always shows their work. No black boxes.
And what's fascinating is how immediately useful this is for high-stakes stuff. We're not talking about asking, what's the capital of France?
Right. This is serious data.
We're talking about querying a really complex knowledge base, specifically corporate financial reports. Dense PDFs.
Okay, so give us an example, Creator. What would you ask?
Imagine asking something like, what was Tesla's total revenue for Q2 2025 based on their report? Or maybe NVIDIA's Q1 fiscal year 25 revenue. Specific questions into specific documents.
And the output, that's the magic part.
That's the breakthrough, yeah. It delivers the accurate number, sure, but crucially, it also gives you the exact document name, the specific page number where it found it, and the verbatim quote straight out of the original PDF.
So you can check it instantly.
Instantly. We looked at the source details for that Tesla revenue query. The system cited page 4 of the Q2 report. You open the PDF, go to page 4, and boom, there's the data point. Flawless. Wow.
That level of granular, traceable proof, that's kind of the holy grail if you're making critical decisions based on this information.
Okay, so here's a question then. How does having that instant high-fidelity citation actually change how a professional, consumes data or makes decisions day to day?
Well, it fundamentally shifts AI from being a potential guesser to a provider of verifiable documented proof. Answers become actionable immediately.
Okay, so AI goes from maybe to fact. Got it.
Now, let's talk about what we're leaving behind, because it's important context. The old way of building our gag, honestly, it was an obstacle course.
Sounds all right.
The source material compares it to using a stone axe versus a power tool, and that feels pretty accurate. It was manual, it was fragile.
Okay, but some people might hear this and think, is this just, a slick wrapper? What was so bad about the old way? Why call this revolutionary?
Oh, the pain points were real, and they cost weeks of developer time, easily. First off, you had the Goldilocks problem with text splitting.
Yes, chunking. Exactly. You had to manually figure out the perfect chunk size, not too big, or the AI loses the thread, not too small, or you split a key fact across 2 different chunks.
Nightmare.
We used to spend ages, sometimes months, just experimenting with custom embeddings, trying to manage metadata correctly, wrestling with setting up and then maintaining a vector database.
Oh, the vector database maintenance.
Right. It often felt like running a whole separate piece of infrastructure just for the lookup part.
Yeah, I remember this one project, maybe 2 years back. We spent weeks just trying to get the text splitting right for these legal docs.
Oh, I bet. Nightmare.
And then we realized the metadata for the clauses wasn't even indexed properly. The AI just couldn't tell an NDA from a settlement. Honestly, I still wrestle with prompt drift sometimes myself. It really felt like a full-time job just managing that back-end stuff.
Exactly. Instead of focusing on the actual intelligence and that kind of complexity, it's just absorbed now, handled by the platform. And here's where it gets really cool. The back-end magic that handles all that messy work automatically. The source calls it an AI dream team working behind the scenes.
So this dream team, it has different roles, like the smart librarian, the master butcher. What's the master butcher doing that's so much better than just hitting split document? That seems like the biggest leap.
The master butcher isn't just like cutting text every 500 characters. It's using advanced algorithms. It actually analyzes the structure of the document, the headers, paragraphs, tables.
Oh, okay. Context aware.
Precisely. It chunks intelligently, respecting the semantic boundaries. That alone is a massive step up from manual or simple splitting.
Gotcha.
Then you've got the smart librarian, which handles ingesting all sorts of files, PDFs, Word docs, and understands their structure. And the fact checker makes sure every single piece of info is tracked back to its source for those citations.
Right, the citations again. So if the backend handles the splitting and the indexing automatically, what's the biggest cost saving there, beyond just saving developer setup time, which is already huge, obviously?
The biggest win, honestly, is probably avoiding the ongoing cost and inefficiency of manual maintenance. And critically important, cutting down wasteful token consumption during queries.
Explain that token part.
Well, traditional systems often have to send way more context, like 20 times the necessary text to the AI just to find one simple fact, because the chunking wasn't precise. That burns through tokens, and tokens cost money.
Okay, massive efficiency, Jane, then. Avoiding waste.
Huge. So we've covered the why, the pain relief, the cost savings. Let's get practical. Let's talk about the how. The blueprint for actually building one of these. It seems surprisingly clear, right? 3 phases.
Yeah, seems very logical. Phase 1 is setting up the brain, the assistant itself.
Right. You basically just create the assistant, give it a clear job title like financial report analyst or something descriptive.
Makes sense.
And then you feed it knowledge. And this is the kicker. You just drag and drop your files, your complex PDFs, Word docs, whatever. The system handles all the hard parts, instantly chunking, indexing, vectorizing.
Oh, okay. No manual pre-processing.
None. Then you can test it right away in the built-in chat playground. See how it responds.
Okay, brain setup sounds fast. Then phase 2 is the hands connecting it to your workflow.
Exactly. Getting that knowledge base talking to other tools you might use, like NAN or Zapier maybe. You use the chat API so external apps can ping your new knowledge brain.
And the source mentioned something clever for setup there, the curl import feature.
Yeah.
Makes connecting easier.
Yeah, it's a neat shortcut. It basically pre-configures the HTTP request node for you so you don't have to manually set up headers and stuff. But the really key technical bit is that dynamic query replacement from AII and search query.
Okay, unpack that dynamic query thing. Why is that so important?
Okay, think of it like this. Your main AI, maybe your general chatbot, is the conductor. The RAG agent with the documents is the specialized orchestra section.
Got it.
That dynamic query tells the conductor AI to figure out the specific, precise question to ask the orchestra section based on the user's broader conversation.
So it doesn't just dump the whole chat history into the RAG agent.
Exactly. It avoids sending tons of irrelevant context, which saves a huge amount of tokens and makes the search query laser-focused, much more efficient.
Clever. Okay, phase 3, the intelligence boost, fine-tuning. This starts with the rulebook, the system prompt.
Yes, and we really can't overstate how vital the system prompt is. It's the difference between just getting an answer and getting a trustworthy answer.
It's the AI's core instructions.
It's the rulebook you set before the user even asks anything. You tell it its personality, its constraints. You insist, for example, always provide full citations, document name, page number, section, and an exact quoted excerpt. Make it non-negotiable.
So what's the real practical difference between doing that in the system prompt versus just telling the AI what you want in the first chat message you send it?
The system prompt defines the AI's persistent internal rules and its specialty. It's baked in. Instructions in a chat message are just temporary context for that one conversation. The system prompt is its core operating instructions before it even looks at the user's query.
Okay, so it sets the fundamental behavior.
Yeah.
Got it.
And crucially, you mentioned this earlier, you must demand those verbatim quotes. That's the switch that turns it from just a summarizer into a proper fact checker.
How do you flip that switch technically?
Yeah, it's a specific parameter in the API call. You add include highlights.
Okay.
That forces the agent to pull the exact source text segments it used to generate the answer. It gives you that undeniable proof. Without it, the AI might paraphrase, and paraphrasing can accidentally introduce errors or change nuance.
Right, especially with precise financial or legal text.
Absolutely. And this fine-tuning stage is also where you choose your model, GPT-4o, Claude, whatever works best, and tweak the temperature.
Lower temperature for facts, right?
Exactly. You want it low for factual consistency, keep creativity out of financial reporting.
2-sec silence. That integration, making verifiable proof just part of the standard output, that really does feel like the game changer here.
And that leads us perfectly to the showdown, the moment of truth. The sources described a direct comparison test, high-stakes query. What was Tesla's operating margin in Q2 2025? The known documented answer was 4.1%.
Okay, so a clear target. How did they do?
It was, frankly, a knockout for this new, simplified approach. The assistant nailed it. Perfect 4.1%, flawless citation, using only about 12,260 tokens.
Wow, that's lean. And the traditional RAG-G setup.
The one that took weeks to build and tune, it was often just plain wrong in its answer, and it shooed through around 30,000 tokens to get there.
30,000 compared to 1,200.
Yep. 23 times more expensive on tokens, slower, less reliable, and the source attribution was weak. No contest, really.
The bottom line there seems crystal clear. You're saving, what, 20, 40 hours of dev setup time per project?
Easily, sometimes more.
And slashing those ongoing operational costs, the token bills, it completely changes the economics, doesn't it? Makes this kind of power accessible to way more teams.
Absolutely. Which leads to thinking about scaling. This simplicity makes it feasible to think bigger, right? Like creating specialized AI libraries.
But multi-domain specialization, yeah. So instead of one giant know-it-all AI, you build experts.
Exactly. Think about it. You could spin up a legal document analyst totally focused on compliance language and contracts.
Okay.
Then a separate financial report processor, only fed earnings calls and SEC filings. Maybe a research paper analyst for scientific literature. They stay hyper-focused, no knowledge contamination.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Of course, scaling like that still needs some governance, right? Access control, monitoring.
Oh, definitely. You absolutely need things like user access control. Got to keep sensitive HR docs separate from public marketing materials, for example.
Right.
And performance monitoring is key. Tracking accuracy, response times, and especially that token usage to make sure you're maintaining that incredible efficiency.
You have to keep an eye on it.
But just, whoa. Imagine scaling this kind of capability with that level of token efficiency. Think about handling terabytes of internal documentation or analyzing, I don't know, 1 billion customer support queries a year. It just completely changes the financial viability.
Yeah, shifts AI from purely a cost center experiment to a massive efficiency engine.
So given how efficient and easy this new way seems, when would a big company still choose the old, super complex custom RA build? Is there still a place for it, honestly? It's becoming a very niche requirement, really only for the most extreme, massive scale deployments. We're talking petabytes, maybe. Or if you have some incredibly unique, specialized data that requires a very specific, custom-trained embedding model, maybe for, like, analyzing obscure ancient texts or highly specialized medical imaging data where off-the-shelf models just won't cut it.
So for 99% of typical business use cases.
For 99% of business cases, this simplified, efficient approach is going to be the winner, hands down.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. The big idea, the core concept here, is that the AI dream of having instantly searchable, trustworthy knowledge from your own documents. It's finally here. And it arrived not through more complexity, but through radical simplification.
Exactly. By focusing on citation quality, cost efficiency, and just sheer speed of deployment.
The revolution isn't just better AI, it's democratizing access to it by removing those huge hurdles like manual chunking and database management.
Couldn't say it better. And just a quick reminder on best practices if you do decide to build one of these. Garbage in, garbage out still applies. Use high-quality source documents.
Meaning searchable PDFs, good OCR.
Yep. Make sure the text is clean, ask specific questions, and keep an eye on those system prompts. Refine them over time as you see how the AI behaves.
Continuous improvement.
Always. And looking ahead, this shift points towards some exciting future trends, doesn't it? We should probably expect even smarter integrations into the tools people already use.
Yeah, less context switching.
Multimodal mastery seems inevitable, querying not just text, but images, audio, maybe video snippets, all linked back to the source.
Asking questions about a chart in the PDF.
Exactly. And deeper reasoning capabilities built on top of this verifiable knowledge foundation.
So the takeaway isn't really if this simplified, verifiable RA approach becomes the standard. It feels like it already is, or soon will be.
Yeah, the question really is how quickly will you adopt these tools? They're incredibly powerful, surprisingly easy to set up, and they can genuinely transform how you access information and make decisions.
The power is there for the taking now.
Stop waiting for some coding wizard to build your AI knowledge base for you. Go become the wizard yourself.